Hi everyone, this is Chris from Chris Watches Pretty Little Liars. How are you? How is everyone doing? We're continuing with I'll get them out when I do. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. You know what I realized? This whole podcast project is about Pretty Little Liars, of course, but it's also a little documentary about my life changes during the process of making this show. I'm probably going to have another disruption here yet before the year is done. But what's great thing about this is all I need is because I think I told you all, I bought the DVD set of the entire show when I got rid of my HBO Max, that's what it's called, subscription. So I have the DVDs. As long as I can bring my computer and the DVDs and something to watch the DVDs on, I can do this anywhere. Well, I need internet access too, but I'm very mobile with the show here. So, but let's not waste any more time. We got to talk about what I'm going to be honest with y'all. Probably one of the more frustrating episodes of the show so far in 3 seasons worth of PLL. A lot of I'm going to use a sports term here. A lot of unforced errors. A lot of unforced errors here, and I'm not quite sure why we are doing what we are doing. But let's get into it. Let's hit the music and let's get into it. Chris watches Pretty Little Liars. Chris watches Pretty Little Liars. Chris watches Pretty Little Liars, so he can help you figure out who's A. Okay, is this still working? Yeah, okay. Season 3, Episode 21, Out of Sight / Out of Mind. Out of Sight / Out of Mind. We're very clear to... because this show does this to people. I'm even highlighting punctuation. This isn't out of sight, comma, out of mind. Out of sight / out of mind. Let's keep that in mind for what I'll tell you what happened in this episode, and I'll tell you what really happened. Previously on, we're reminded Cece exists. We're reminded that she and Wilden may or may not have hooked up. That Wilden may or may not have impregnated Allie. Cece is her fingerprints are all over this season, and I think that came to clear picture. I'm going to tell you again, the moment she sat in her car and lied to Arya on the phone, that's when it all kind of came together for me. Because I know it was a joke when I had taken the break and come back. I'm like, who is Cece again? Cece is the biggest, random chess piece here. And so a lot of the new head of A, which I don't know why she'd be in charge of Mona and Toby. I have no clue. But it seems to be the case. And we need someone with a lot of time on their hands, particularly this episode. And Cece must have a lot of time on her hands because the production work of this episode is flat out ridiculous. Okay, back to the previously on. We're reminded that Wilden got run over by a car. Maggie's back. Maggie's in the picture, I should say. Spencer versus Mona. I will give the show credit here. I'm glad someone on the Liars team is actually taking it to the other side. So Spencer is very much in Mona's face, literally. We're reminded that the steam room of death exists inside the Hastings household. And then we're going to have a liar meeting. So we cut right to the liar meeting. Spencer, Arya, and Emily. Of course, Hannah is about to do one of the many unforced errors of this episode. And they're like, who's helping Mona? Who's helping Mona? Spencer Spencer says, I've been warned by A not to tell you. And they're like, would you freaking tell us? And then she says, finally, Toby is A, which is interesting that she says it like that because that's not exactly what's going on. There's an A team. There's an A network. There's an A group. Toby is part of, maybe she thinks he is A, I guess, maybe. But as we know, the viewers, there's more than one A, which may or may not be NAT Club. And as ridiculous as it is, that flashback where Allie goes to talk to Toby when he's in the most ridiculous prison outfit I've ever seen in my entire life. It is clear A's been around before for a long time, and Toby was in jail, so he could not have been a part of it then. Doesn't mean he wasn't recruited then, either by Allie or somebody else. But A predates the show. For whatever reason. Cut to Hannah and Mom coming home after whatever the hell they did. She's like, I should call the Rosewood Hospital. She's like, then I should call my lawyer. Somehow Hannah talks her out of it and tells her, let's not do anything right now. They're just not going to say anything, I guess. So Mom's like, Hannah, don't say anything until I figure this out. Yeah, this is another, again, unforced error. This is like classic A shit. They love this stuff. And then there were some sirens in the distance which had nothing to do with them. They both look off at their window like, is that for us? Arya, Emily, and Spencer, they're kind of reviewing what Spencer just told the two of them. I guess there's a talk of Toby secretly hates us this whole time, that he didn't really love Spencer. All that was fake. And of course, Emily's in denial. Which I think is a good keeping track of your show, because I think I said this before. Season 1, Toby and Emily had a connection. They were friends, right? I think it even at one time, didn't Toby ask her out or something when she was with that horrible boyfriend or something? Where the hell did he go? Is he part of A? He could be part of A. And then I think it's Arya who says Mona must have something on him, or maybe it was Emily. Mona must have something on him, which is potentially true. Either her or Cece have something on Toby, or he's an evil twin. And here's a leap in logic, which I disagree with Spencer here. She thinks Toby is the one that locked her in the steam room of death. Of course, you and I know it was Cece. Cece did that. Now, why Cece is obsessed with Spencer is unclear, although it connects to her and Melissa talking, right? In that weird flashback that Jason had. But yeah, that was definitely Cece, not Toby. Toby is in the A, what should we call that? When you're a burned agent of A, they always like put you away for a bit and you come back out later. So I think he's whenever that is. Jenna's in that recovery program. Toby has been drafted and another death. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Another death faked. Anyway, cut to the brew. Emily's leaving Toby a voicemail. And I wrote in my notes, I like how the friendship is valuable. They're really making that friendship mean something after all these seasons, which means that Emily does not believe it's true. I like that. That's good. One of the things I liked about this episode. And something that bothered me a little bit when I watched this episode, she has the key that Toby gave her from the loft. Remember that whole little thing they're going to do for his surprise birthday or something, right? So she snuck in there to do that. And she has the key to the loft, his place there. That's a big, open-ended thing for an agent of A to willfully forget. I don't know. The level of care and detail that the A network does, and the monitoring and all that stuff that they do, the fact that Toby would forget that she has the key to his place is a little unusual to me. I don't know why. It just is. But she has it. Arya approaches Ezra's apartment with the classic empty coffee cups that we're supposed to believe are full, and no one ever puts even just water in them to make the actor look like they are holding real coffee cups. Alas, she's bringing a whole bunch of empty coffee cups to his apartment, and Malcolm's there. Arya's like, "Oh, the kid's here." I read in my notes he's bigger than I remember. I don't know how young he was when they showed him a year ago, but I don't know. Kids grow fast, right? Not to pat myself on the back, but as I guessed. Guess what? Malcolm and Maggie, that's funny. Malcolm and Maggie are moving in. That's a lot of M's. They're moving to Rosewood. Well, right now they're staying in Ezra's apartment, and Maggie's trying to find a job. Well, I guess Maggie is staying at a nearby hotel, but they're going to move in. And Ezra wants Arya to hang out with his son, so I guess Arya's like, I'm going to be a stepmom. Cut to Toby's loft. Hannah is obsessed with the news. Note to the set designer, there's a motorcycle book on the little coffee table there. A little foreshadowing for the ridiculousness to happen later on. And Emily is still defending Toby. She says he gave her the courage to come out, a few years ago. And I applaud her for her faith in her knowledge of who Toby really is. Now, what that means, what the truth is, I am unclear. Because do you remember when Toby tried to run over the vigilante who was Lucas? Remember that? Wasn't he in a SUV and he tried to run over Lucas? I don't know. So they're flipping through the motorcycle book and they find the Elam parking pass, which is how he got in and out of Radley to see Mona and to do A shenanigans, which, by the way, let's not forget, Ren with 3 N's is involved. Let's not forget. So we have Ren, Mona, Toby, Cece, Ben. Was that Emily's ex-boyfriend, Ben? I think he's involved too. We haven't seen him for 2.5 seasons, but he's involved. I think Paige is involved. I don't know who else is involved. Melissa and Ian. Anyway, so Arya, Ezra, and Malcolm are playing. Maggie comes home, awkward as hell. Maggie and Arya have an awkward conversation. Arya is apologizing for being there because it's kind of weird. Maggie is very happy. She likes that. They're both busy. Maggie's trying to go for a job interview. Ezra's got some sort of bullshit tutor thing. And Arya says, I'll babysit. Arya's storyline with Ezra is only getting weirder. My God. A's unlimited budget continues as she gets a bouquet from A. There's a card. Someone close to you will pay for your loose lips -A. I know I've said this before, but the level of obsession of who I'm assuming this is all CC is unbelievable. That should be scary enough. Let's forget all the other stuff that happens this episode. The level of preparation, craft, detail, all that is just off the charts. Like you would do that for someone. That's just one thing that she did. Like that, buying a wreath, making the sash, doing the card, dropping it off, knocking on the door. That's like your morning. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Jesus Christ. We have a full liar meeting at the brew. Emily needs to hear this directly from Toby, which makes sense. Mona comes in. She's pretending she's ordering coffee. Spencer confronts her. Thank you, Spencer. And she says, thank you for the flowers. And then Mona pretends like she doesn't know what's going on. And then she says, someone, the orchids die in sunlight, and looks at Emily or something. I love Spencer putting on the offense here. We then jump to the Montgomery household. Arya is there, and Ella walks in. Her ma. Arya was going through toys because I guess she's going to bring over the house for Malcolm to play. Ezra called Ella about a jobs at the school for Maggie. Of course, Maggie's going to be a teacher there, right? Arya, again, I know the show is called Pretty Little Liars. She is a terrible liar. It's very clear something's going on, and so we're going to get to that. Ella's going to dig into that a little bit later. Emily goes up to the Toby household. I'm surprised Jenna wasn't in this episode, but she's not. There's lots of mail, and then someone pulls up in Toby's truck. Who the fuck is this guy? Who shows up a little bit later? He's just a random guy that says, yeah, work with Toby. Let me borrow his truck. He's picking up like a table saw or something. I don't know. He didn't get a name, so I'm calling him Anthony. From now on, I don't know if he has a real character name or not, but he is from here forward Anthony. Anthony Tablesaw is his name. Anthony Tablesaw. Spencer's looking at the sash on the flowers, sees some poor, sash design on there, and runs out of her house. Got to Hannah's mom on the phone. She's freaking out. And then she sees Wilden's ghost haunting a doorstop there. I don't think that was really Wilden. I think that's her mind's playing tricks on her, because if you are a police officer and you run over in your own car, why don't you have your car back? Why have you not reported it into the authorities? Why are you in a full suit looking just fine? So that's definitely not creepy detective. Cut to Spencer running to Emily's house. She says, I saw EM in the sash. Look, it's not shiny. And Emily's like, you're out of your mind. And I said to myself, look at the rest of the sash. What if it says I don't know. What if there's more letters there? This is a puzzle. You only looked at part of the puzzle. Anyway, she gets a text, Emily gets a text, right? Stop looking for him or something. Cut to Hannah and Arya. They're at Ezra's place. I guess Hannah goes over there while Arya starts to babysit. I don't know. They're talking about, I'm going to be a stepmom, I guess. Talking about Toby, like what the hell, what's going on, all that. Then there's police sirens, and again, Hannah looks out the window. Are those for me? Cut to the police station. Emily is talking to her mom. She can't help find Toby. There's nothing really she can do. And mom says, let this go. Mom says, fuck Toby. I never really liked that kid anyway. Emily's mom coming through in the clutch here. Emily goes, can I use your computer? And Emily's mom says, yeah, I'll be right back. And Emily, hacker, does her thing, and she's looking up, I don't know, we find out what she's looking up later. Cut to Arya with Malcolm. I don't know what the hell she's doing, but somehow Malcolm bouncing on the bed in which Ezra and Arya sleep in. Ew. Somehow Malcolm is jumping around, and he falls and cuts his chin. And she's like, shh. And he's like, ah. So Emily's hacking. Cut back to Emily hacking. She's trying to see who Elam is. So she's looking up a photo, and apparently they have dial-up speed, like apparently I do here in the woods where I am still trapped. So it's like really slow to load, and she can't see the face. She has to alt-tab out when mom comes back, and then she gets a text now from Toby's phone number. Stop looking, I'll meet you later, blah, blah, blah. Cut to Mona at the brew. She's doing some stuff. She's, I don't know what she did, but she's like doing some stuff at the brew. And Spencer's trailing her. She's like on the Mona case. But she's a horrible tail. Again, another unforced error. Spencer is maybe 3 steps behind Mona. Not very good. Cut to the ER. Ezra and Arya, he cut his chin. Ezra's like, what were you doing? He's a little mad. Then he's like, oh, no, LOL, I'm not mad. And then Arya's like, I didn't see him jumping on the bed. Arya's freaking out. What do I tell Maggie? And then Maggie comes in and everyone's like, Malcolm's fine. Everyone's happy. Clearly this incident is setting the stage for something later. But at least for now, everyone's like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Mona goes to like some spot. Spencer is still tailing Mona. I will say this. Spencer closes her car door very quietly. Very well done, Spencer. A+ for that. But they're in the woods somewhere. The infamous Rosewood Woods here. Cut to Hannah. She calls mom, gets a voicemail. This is at the house. And then inside their garage is Wilden's car. I mean, this is A stuff. I put in my notes, most obvious A shit ever. It could be Wilden, I guess. But I don't think so. That's such a weird... things have gone off the rails. I don't really understand how this is happening, why it's happening. It's all very confusing. Why is there not like the police are like, where the fuck is Wilden? No, no one has said anything. There's not a manhunt. I don't get it. Okay. Emily's in some sort of abandoned factory. So she followed directions to wherever Toby said to meet her. It's a weird factory place. Meet me at Olivia Drive. So that's where she is. Malcolm looks terrified. Maggie shows up and they say, Arya, you're not family, so get the hell out of here, says the nurse. I wrote on my notes, LOL. We cut back to Spencer in the woods, trailing Mona, and then she finds a body, someone sleeping with a motorcycle helmet on. I mean, this is classic horror movie shit 101. We don't confirm their identity. We don't know who. There may not even be a real person in there for all we know. But Spencer assumes it's Toby, that somehow he was killed. Well, she sees the 901 tattoo, but I mean, come on. This is clearly a setup for whatever reason. So she starts chasing Mona, and Mona's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. Cut to Arya and Ma, and she finally tells her mom what's going on with the whole Malcolm situation. Mom says, I can't help you. Some relationships aren't meant to last. So maybe Ella, who is totally okay with Ezra dating her daughter, is like, oh, thank God. This is the way to get her out of this. There's a kid involved now. There's an not ex-wife, ex-lover in Maggie. She's like, great. I'll tell Byron we got Ezra out of this. The kid is gonna make Arya just give up, and we see the beginnings of that before the episode ends. So cut to Emily waiting in her car. She was supposed to meet at 7. It's like 9:15. She's about ready to leave, and then she sees Redcoat Woman, who we all know is Cece. So she starts to follow. She goes inside a door, and it's 9:15 p.m. The workshop inside here is as busy as hell. I mean, there must be 20, 30 people working inside this random-ass workshop, which I guess where Toby works. Anthony is there. Anthony Buzzsaw. Wait, I call him Anthony Tablesaw, but I like Anthony Buzzsaw. All right, so Anthony Buzzsaw is there, and he's like, no, man, I told you Toby's out of town. What are you doing here? I didn't see no Redcoat lady, not CC. And then he says, sorry, Emily. And she goes, how do you know my name? Classic mistake by Anthony Buzzsaw. I don't know why the fuck Anthony's part of the A network. So I'm cursing a lot this episode. I don't know why. I don't know why the fuck Anthony is part of the A network, but apparently he is. I don't know. He's working with CC. Totally Blue is covered too. Amateur hour. A lot of amateur hour shit this week. So we cut to Hannah and Arya, the whole car situation. So the two of them decide we got a solution for this. Why did I put water bottles? I forgot why I put that note. So Emily leaves the workshop with Anthony Buzzsaw, and her glass has been shattered. Cece literally just waited. Cece waited 5 minutes, and then went back to the window, broke it. There's a package. So again, the stuff that A is making. We have a envelope on the outside. Inside is a whole coffin, like a little toy coffin. Inside the coffin is a scroll that has Toby is no more A written in, I guess, blood or something, or maybe it's like I don't know. And then a whole fake funeral thing, like a funeral thing for Toby. Again, this is not you. I make a podcast about the show, and this takes me a long time. I can't imagine making an envelope, buying a coffin on Amazon, having that show up, writing a little scroll. I gotta make sure this looks like blood. Then making a whole pamphlet for Toby's fake funeral. My God. Anyway, so Emily's like, oh. I don't know if she has a reaction. She's like, what? I think this would have been more effective to Spencer. I think Cece screwed up who should have gotten this package. Anyway. Yeah, so Hannah and Arya, somehow they decide the best solution to this problem of Wilden's car in Hannah's garage is to dump it in the lake. The infamous lake. So they throw it in. Now, here was my prediction at the time. This would be messed up because we might finally actually have a confirmed death in the show. I thought they put Wilden in the trunk. I thought A might have put, isn't that the classic one of these, right? So Wilden is unconscious in the truck, and maybe if they'd opened the trunk, they would have seen him in there. But they dumped it into the lake, so they might have actually killed Wilden. So I hope I'm wrong. But I put in my notes, A layup. This is an A layup. CC and company had to do so little on this one. This was really kind of wild. And then they said, I thought it would sink faster, which I thought was a clue about Wilden being in the trunk, but there was a creepy cam as well. And then for some reason, the lights turn on. I don't know why that happened. It made me laugh a little bit. Cut back to the Hannah home. And the mom's like, oh, the car, maybe it's all gone away. Maybe this is all like, we could forget about all this. Okay. Ezra and Arya are on the phone with each other. And it's clear that Arya is pulling away. And she says, well, I'll call you later. So I don't know why everything that's happened, this is the thing that causes Arya to pull away a little bit. I think it's one of the better decisions that she's made about this entire situation with Ezra. But that's, you already know how I feel about all that. Here's one of the more frustrating things of this episode here. A ranger finds Spencer just in the middle of the road crying. Actually, she's not even crying. She's like stunned, silent. I wrote in my notes, broke down. I just don't know. I realize I'm a viewer of a TV show, but how do you assume that was Toby without looking at the visor? I don't know. But Spencer, I guess, assumes Toby is dead. I don't know what is happening here, but she is catatonic. Cut to Hannah and Arya. They tell Emily about dumping the car in the lake. So there's that. And then they find out, where is Spencer? Yeah, I think she's in Radley at this one of the last shots here of the episode. She's in a bed, kind of catatonic still. We don't see who the nurse here is. I'm guessing it's either Ren or Mona. I don't know if we actually see their face, but I'm guessing one or the other. Or was it? I wrote Mona, of course. Do we see if it's her face? I forget. And then a final shot, a fisherman. By the way, the way this is shot, I've been rewatching Supernatural. The way it's shot looks like a shot from Supernatural. He's fishing in the lake. Why he's fishing there, I don't know. I guess there's fishing in this lake. I don't know. It seems like a very small lake. Anyway, he fishes out a rosewood hat. And that's what we get for the post-credit scene. So what do we think, folks? Spencer's off the table. Anthony Buzzsaw is now part of the A-team. Arya's pulling away from Ezra. And this car thing with Wilden is going to become a huge issue. We are 3 episodes away from the finale, and I'm lost as to how we're going to get to any sort of conclusion of anything. The liars are so far away from solving anything. They were on the track with CC, then they went way off track. I am hoping that I am wrong, or I should say that Spencer is doing a ploy here to find out more about what's going on, and we get to the reveal that we have another A in CC. We just get the closure with the red coat, with this whole coffin business with Jason, like all that just kind of comes together at the end of the season. I know I'm asking for a lot since this is season 3 of a 7-season show, but that said, I guess we can hope. I've been Chris. You can find me on Instagram at McGoogs, TikTok at Mac to the Gal. I'm not doing too much TikTok stuff, I guess. I do have a YouTube, Mac to the Gal, as well. I posted a scary game, a playthrough, a Lake House DLC for Alan Wake 2. A lot of spoilers in that, so if you haven't played the game yet yourself, you probably want to avoid that. But I'll be playing other spoopy games as much as I can. I'm trying to get back on Twitch, but the internet here is not very friendly to that. Hopefully I have an update on that very soon for all of you. But you know what? The podcast lives on. Okay, I've said way too much. I've said enough.
When Detective Wilden goes missing, will Barry do all he can to find Rosewood's finest? Or will he get lost in the system? Find out on an all-new Barry the Cop, CBS Sundays.